What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're here with another video. And similar to my previous video I did a couple of weeks ago of if I was in charge of the heavyweight division, but today, after following this weekend's Cruiserweight World title fight, we're going to do what if I was in charge of the Cruiserweight division. And yeah, I might make this a series going through some of the divisions, probably doing these after some of the biggest fights to predict the future or what I would like to see in each division. But yeah, pretty simple. If I was in charge of the Cruiserweight division, what fights would I make? And the first one is, we've got to unify these belts. Come on, we've got to have an undisputed Cruiserweight fight in the next year or so. It's pretty easy to do as Saudi Arabia have been proving. So yeah, but first we're going to do what I think is the best Cruiserweight in the division, Jai Opetaia. And he's going to be unifying against Mikaelian, and it's an easy fight. And for him, I think Mikaelian, he beat Makabu for the vacant title a couple months now. I don't know if it was the end of last year or beginning of this year, but yeah, easy to make. Opetaia's on those Saudi cars, got the Saudi money, can make that fight very easily. I think Opetaia comes through that. So next fight, we're going to unify the other two belts. Billam-Smith, following his brilliant win over Riakporhe at the weekend, is going to be fighting Gilberto Ramirez. There's been plenty of talk after the fight. Billam-Smith wants to go to America to fight. Gilberto Ramirez has welcomed that. They congratulate each other after each of their last respective world title fights, and both of the fighters seem to want to get it on, and I think it's just down to promoters now. Make it happen, and I think that'll be a really good fight. Billam-Smith is a dog, and Gilberto Ramirez, he's come through a lot of weight divisions, and now maybe at one that actually fits him. But I think that'll be a good fight. Again, it's a 50-50, but it seems to be all Billam-Smith fights are 50-50s nowadays, and then he seems to have the nous to come through them all. So yeah, for me, Opetaia, Mikaelian, Billam-Smith, Ramirez, winners face off for an undisputed Cruiserweight fight. Let's go. Now, another one at, say at world level just about. So following his loss to Opetaia, Briedis, he still looks the shit, man. He still looked good. If he came on a bit stronger earlier on, he could have won that fight. He had Opetaia in a bit of trouble at the end. Two good fights with Opetaia, and I think, yes, he's older, but he can still prove he can do it at the top level, and he's great to watch in the ring. And personally, I'm going to put him up against. There's been a bit of talk recently against him fighting Opetaia too, which I don't particularly want to see. But if he does want to fight as an older man himself, I think this could make a bit of sense. Badou Jack. Honestly, Briedis against Badou Jack. Obviously, Jack was the WBC champion. I think he might be the champion in recess or whatever, if that even means anything. Anyway, he beat Makabu at Cruiserweight. Hasn't fought since. But if you're talking about fighting Opetaia, it's obviously for the money. But get rid of that. We want unifications. But Briedis, Badou Jack, I think, two older guys in the division, two fairly big names as well. Be a decent scrap that. I think a lot of people would like to see that, and I think it would be a good fight on a Saudi card or a good main event or co-main anywhere else. And I think that'd be a good fight to see. Two of the older guys in the division, see if they can have one more shot at a world title. I wouldn't like to see Badou Jack going straight in with Opetaia. I think beat Briedis, you deserve it. Again, if Briedis wins that, I think he's easily earned another shot at any of the world titles on offer. Next, we're going to talk Riakporhe. Obviously, his loss to Billam-Smith at the weekend, I think, proved he's not at the top level. So many holes in this game is what it looked like. Billam-Smith just proved he's a level above Riakporhe, but Riakporhe's got to have a comeback fight. His first loss, and the fight I am going to put him in with against a man who's also lost to Billam-Smith, Masternak. Masternak, I think, was beating Billam-Smith, his first defence of Billam-Smith's title after beating Coley. Masternak was winning until Billam-Smith just found something. I think he might broke his rib or something. But he was losing the first 6 rounds easy, Billam-Smith. Masternak was in the ascendancy, but Billam-Smith proved he's got that dog once again. But I think Masternak, I think he's, since the Billam-Smith fight, he'll be a name to, obviously this is going to be on Sky, because Sky don't let, or boxers don't let any of their fights fight anywhere else. Riakporhe Masternak, I think, can be a main event for Sky in the UK on just a fight night on a Saturday night on Sky Sports. Both coming off, well, Masternak's had one more fight in between, but losses to Billam-Smith, and prove if you can step up or you're going to be done at the top level if you lose that, for definite. And yeah, I think it's a really tough comeback fight for Riakporhe, but I'd like to see him prove he can patch those holes in his game fairly quickly, but you never know, and we'll see. But I'd like to see that fight a lot. Next, we're going to go the British champion, Chev Clarke, former Olympian, quality fighter. Let's keep him moving, man. He's good. He's really good. Just won the British title against Zorro. I don't think we need to see him win it outright, because I think there's no one who's going to challenge him at that level. Let's moving up. Let's go European title. And just this Saturday, who won the European title? Jack Massey beat Isaac Chamberlain. All British European title fight once again. I'm sure Eddie and DAZN could pay Massey. I don't know Massey's promotional situation, because he doesn't seem to be one that's a mainstay in the boxer fights, on the boxer stable, but he's been fighting a lot on boxer, but I don't know how it works. But he's not one of the big names that's a boxer want to push, so I can see Massey being able to go and fight on a DAZN card. Could even get a Saudi card. You never know with the money they can put up. But yeah, Chev Clarke fighting for European title against the now champion Jack Massey. Another all-British European title fight. And as Massey proves, he's more than up to it at the top European level. Let's make Chev Clarke have another big step up and see if he can step up and maybe push on European level and world level in a year or two coming up. So yeah, that's what I want to see. Let's move up with Chev Clarke pretty quickly and see if Jack Massey is able to defend that fight, because he's a real good fighter. And yeah, and mentioning Jack Massey's fight at the weekend, he beat Isaac Chamberlain. So Isaac Chamberlain, who's he going to fight next? There's only one fight for me, Viddal Riley. Both on Sky Sports, both with Boxer, both been beefing on Twitter, in person. Viddal's the English title holder. Yeah, let's do it. It could be for the English title, doesn't really matter, but it's a bit of bad blood there. Again, I think that's a good fight. Headliner, your call. Co-main any other fights on this card, you know. If it's on Sky, it's a good fight. There you go. Maybe you do Riakporhe Masternak, Chamberlain, Viddal Riley, co-main. Good, very good fight card for Sky Sports right there. And I think it will be another step up, which we want to see from Viddal. And if Chamberlain can still mix with these top British guys, or not, as maybe proven against Massey, you never know. And I think Viddal is good. So for me, I'd pick Viddal for that fight to step up, and then he'll be looking at British honours himself. Yeah, and one other fight, an all-British fight I want to mention. Jordan Thompson against Ellis Zorro. I want to see that. See Thompson come off the loss to Opetaia, who stepped up too far because no one ready to fight Opetaia. Same with Zorro, stepped up too far, lost to Opetaia. He has had fights since, losing to Chev Clarke, but again, as previously mentioned, Chev Clarke is quality, a world level fighter easily. But yeah, there's sink or swim time for these two guys. Both stepped up too far against Opetaia, but that's easy to see, and you can't blame them for that. But let's see if Zorro can bounce back from that Chev Clarke defeat, because that might have been a tough one. But again, Chev Clarke is a top guy. And I think for a British level fight, all British fight, I think that's a good fight. And yeah, see who's ready to actually take the step up instead of being pushed a bit too far. Let's start to rebuild these guys a bit slower, just bring it back a bit, because I think that's what they need at the moment. But still really tough competitive fight for them, and that's what we want to see as boxing fans. But yeah, there's plenty of other names in the Cruiserweight division, but I think these are the ones I want to focus on at the top, world title and world level, and a lot of the British fighters for me. And yeah, that's what I would do if I was in charge of the Cruiserweight division. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for maybe if I was in charge of whatever division video. But yeah, see you guys. Goodbye.